Okay, today I'm going to show you a little river scene here. I'm going to do it on an oil panel, a cotton panel. I buy mine from Jackson Art Supplies. They're pretty good value and decent quality. This will be the blocking in stage, and I'll show you how I do that in acrylic paints. Acrylic's always the best medium, I think, for doing blocking in, because it dries nice and quick, and you're just wanting an approximation of mid-tones and just placing things. I'm not sure how well the camera picks up, but I've just sketched out roughly the positions of everything. So we've got a river that runs down the middle with a load of reed banks here and a few trees and stuff, but it'll become more apparent as we apply the paint. But if you watch till the end, I'll show you how I complete this blocking in with acrylics. A little word about equipment. So you can buy something called a stay wet palette, which keeps your acrylics moist for a long period of time, many hours, even possibly days, and they're really useful, but they're quite expensive, so you can make one yourself. And what I've got here is an old plastic art box for a few pounds. I have a bit of blotting paper underneath. What you do is you fully soak it with water, drain off the excess water, and what I've got here is just a piece of baking parchment just cut to shape and laid over the top, and that's what you'll put your paints on. And then you can close the lid on the box, and if I show you there, it's got a lid there. And what that does, it just keeps everything moist, and it means you can work on the paints for a number of days. So I recommend, if you're going to start using acrylics, to do that. It's really useful. It means that, because otherwise the paints are going to dry within half an hour generally. You need a little pot of water there to keep your brushes moist, and never let your brushes dry out. Acrylics absolutely destroy brushes. So that's a really good tip, is always keep your brushes in water, always thoroughly wash them out after you've used them, because acrylics are by far the worst paint for destroying brushes. So let me tell you what I've got on the palette here. So for the sky, we've got some Prussian blue and a bit of azure blue with titanium white. For the greens, for mostly the grass, we've got Viridian hue, sap green, hooker's green, bit of yellow ochre and a bit of lemon yellow, again with the titanium white. So generally similar colours that I'll use in the oil paints. So just to establish those mid-tones. So let's get on with that now. So I'm going to mix a bit of water there, just to moisten the brush with the Prussian blue. And what I don't want too vibrant a sky here. It's just, the Prussian blue is quite a nice blue for making a bit of a duller, kind of hazy blue, if you like. So the brushes I'm using are if you've seen any of my earlier videos where I talk about the equipment, I've got these weasel hair brushes, and they're really quite nice for generally oils and acrylics. And if you've seen earlier videos, you'll also know that I talk about, when you're doing the skies, you have the strongest saturation normally at the top of the sky, and then it gets lighter as you go down. So that's something always worth bearing in mind as you're painting. Keep that brush moist as well. You don't want it drying out on the brush. Just hoping I'm not getting myself in the frame here, because I have to set my camera quite far back for this, because I've got a prime lens on. Just hope the light is okay now. I've had to play around with the settings. Anybody who's filmed indoors will know the issues with trying to get the light correct. So at the moment, just keeping that Prussian blue with the titanium white. And so as we come down, we'll just mix a bit more white in there. It's a bit strong there. So just take that down with a bit more white. Obviously with acrylics, you need to work fairly quickly when you're blending. You can add something called a gel retarder to the paint, which will slow down the drying time. But I'm not particularly worried about blending too detailed here, purely because we're going to, once the blocking in's done, we'll be going over this in oil paints. So you'll be hiding a lot of it. This is just really to establish positions and tone when we come to do the oils. So just adding a little bit more titanium white as we come down. But I always start, when I'm doing a painting, start with the sky, start top to bottom. And you're sort of working from the back to the front when you're painting in oils and acrylics. This brush seems to be dropping a lot of hairs for some reason. It's a bit annoying, so I'm going to have to pick those out afterwards. So you get that paint nice and light as we come down to the horizon. Just keep adding titanium white to the mix. And I say this, don't worry too much at this stage, but you know, even if you're not great at drawing, what you want to learn to do or practice to do is just be able to position things. You don't need to be the best drawer to be a good painter. You just need really to be able to sketch out positions of things. You don't need to do things in detail. I pretty much never do anything really in any kind of detail from a drawing point of view. I mean, I could do if I wanted, but it doesn't actually really serve a purpose. So, you know, if you're a beginner, don't worry about, you know, if you're not necessarily the best at drawing. That isn't going to stop you from being, you know, a very good painter at all. There are ways around these kind of issues if you're not as confident with your drawing. But the main thing is you do want to be able to position everything. You probably can't see on the camera because it's light, but what I've done here is there's the bank here, we've got a bit of river reflection in down here, there's a big reed bed in the middle, and there's the bank here. So I've just put a rough position of things here, and I've put rough position of the tree, but a lot of this will be painted over. But it's just to give me a guide to begin with. And that's basically all you really need, like I say, because we're going to go over this in the oil paints. So you don't need to worry about being too exact at this point. I'm just checking, I can see there's some hairs in the... This is one of the frustration with brushes sometimes, is, especially these natural brushes, they do drop hairs onto the painting surface, which is very annoying. Oh. Okay, in the painting here we've got a distant field and there is a tree line, but what I'll do is always basically bring the horizon down past the tree line so you can paint back up into it and you can let some of the sky show through. So I brought that down to where the field is. So we're going to mix up the green for the field there, which is quite a pale green, and when things are in the distance they tend to have a bit more blue, a bit more white in them. So we'll use a bit of titanium white and probably, just looking, maybe some of the sap green, a bit of yellow ochre because you want to knock that back, a bit of the Prussian blue, and then we'll just see how that looks. And so what we're trying to do is get the mid-tones pretty much in there, but maybe a bit lighter than that. So we've got a bit of blue in there. Really need to secure this better, don't I? So we've got a bit of blue in there, we've got a bit of white, a bit of the yellow ochre to knock it back. And you can probably see here, I'm not being precise with my brush work. So when I was using the sky, the brush size, for those of you who would like to know, it's a size 9. So it's a natural hair brush. This one I'm using at the moment is a size 5, so I'm just getting a little bit smaller as we're going into a bit more of a tighter area. But you don't want to make the blocking in stage, you know, too lengthy, too kind of detailed. You know, just keep it fairly loose. It's all about positioning and, you know, just suggesting stuff. And where there's different bits and pieces, we've got trees in front here, but just get the background in first and then we can build up over the top of that. But as long as you've got your rough positioning in with your drawing, you know kind of exactly where you're going with everything. Touch more blue to that. And if you haven't seen, I did a video about mixing greens, which might be quite useful to those of you who are new to painting. Just showing you how to create a few simple natural greens. If you have a look at my playlist number 1, the first series of painting that I did, got a little instructional video in there showing you how to do that. So we've got the grass there, we've got the field in the back, and what we've got here, the greens at the front are much richer, much deeper in saturation. So I'm going to use a bit of the hooker's green with the sap green. And again, we want the mid-tone, so we don't want anything too light and we don't want anything too dark. But what we can do is just check that against there. Maybe a bit of yellow ochre in there, a bit of the lemon yellow. Let's have a look. You know, assess as you're going, you may find that sometimes it's too dark, sometimes it's too light, but always referring to your photo. And there's some darker in here, so the viridian hue, so a bit of the Prussian blue, just deepen that colour. And probably, and I'll show you a technique for adding texture in as well before we get on to the oil painting stage. But you know, when you're putting this colour in, what you can do is just scrub your colour in and then look at the photo, and if you think it's too light or too dark, you can then, the beauty of acrylics, and one of the things I really love about acrylics, is that you can just work over things, you know, really easy, really quickly. There's no real drama with it. Not like with oil paints, you know, you've got to let layers dry and things like that, which can be quite frustrating if you haven't got it right or near right the first time you're kind of doing things. So what I need here is a bit of burnt umber, I think, just to knock back the hue there. Burnt umber's a good colour just to mute the greens down a little. Excuse my noisy office chair. think pretty much really now we're done with this part of the painting. You know, this is all you really need for the blocking in. You got your kind of painting planned out, you've got it written, you know, kind of put it down where you want your colours. You've got most of the mid-tones in there, and what we've got here, we've got some trees here over the top, and we've got areas of reeds from the bank side. And if you tune into the next lesson, I'll show you how I approach the next layer and how we start to build this up. So please do subscribe to the channel and follow along with this, and hopefully I'll see you soon.